there, this is Datila with Rangers of Wrestling, bringing the Wrestling Time post show. And for tonight, I will be talking about WWE SummerSlam. Alright, so SummerSlam was definitely an entertaining pay per view, I would say, top to bottom. There were things I liked, there were things I disliked. But let's start from the beginning. So SummerSlam opened with the Raw Women's Championship match. It was Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. Now, I have to say, this was a good match, but I still like the WrestleMania match a lot better than I did this match. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. There was a part of me as I was watching this match that I kind of thought maybe Becky Lynch would actually win. Props to Triple H for making me believe that. But the one spot that I liked was that Spanish fly from the middle rope and then the KOD to Becky Lynch. So that was a really cool spot. Now this match went on for a bit, and I would not have been upset if this match would have been less than 20 seconds because they kept bringing up and talking about how Becky Lynch beat Bianca Belair last year in 26 seconds. So I kind of thought, okay, they're gonna go that route. They're going to have Bianca beat Becky in less than 26 seconds, and she's gonna get that record wiped from her record. But they didn't, and I can understand why they didn't, because I feel like so many people probably would have been upset or would not have liked this being a short 20 something second match. So of course they had to go all out, and Bianca Belair successfully retains her title. And then at the end, what I thought was really, really cool is that Becky offers her hand. Like she offered Bianca Belair her hand, but then Bianca was reluctant. Like she hesitated for a bit to kind of hand her hand to Becky. And then they gave each other hugs, which I thought was really cool. Such a sweet, tender moment. So I guess that's Becky's way of acknowledging Bianca as, as being good. So let's talk about what happened at the end. So at the end, you had Bayley come back, but she didn't come alone. She came with the Dakota Kai and Io Shirai, and they confronted Bianca Belair. And then Becky Lynch kind of seemed like she was going to aid Bianca, but then Bayley and her group backed away. So I'm actually really digging this. I wasn't expecting all of this to happen in the opening, but I do have an update. So, according to Fightful Select, this stable is a product of the new WWE regime, and they've heard that the stable was actually pitched quite a while ago before Dakota's release, and Vince McMahon rejected it. There were other versions pitched that included Raquel and Kylie Ray before they got called up and repackaged respectively. I'm not surprised that Vince McMahon rejected it. I'm sure he rejected tons of other ideas. But I'm really excited. Under the Triple H regime, I'm really excited about this stable. Imagine you have Bayley be the women's champion and have Io Shirai and Dakota Kai beat tag team champions if they bring the titles back. That's assuming. But it's actually Miss SummerSlam, and I hear it was a good show. I'm surprised. It definitely was a good show. But the one thing that I noticed is that they kept calling Io Shirai Io Sky. So I guess that's her new name. I don't know why they changed it. I don't have an update for you guys as to why they changed it. My girl Bayley's back. Yes, she's back, but she didn't come alone. Io Shirai and Dakota Kai came along with her. So if I do get an update, and I'm assuming this table is going to be on Raw, I definitely will let you guys know what the update is. But overall, great start to SummerSlam. Very, very surprised with that, honestly. So then we had The Miz versus Logan Paul. Logan Paul, pretty impressive if you ask me. I'm really glad they made this a singles match because Logan Paul really stuck out. That frog splash that he did to The Miz on the announce table was amazing. Glad they hired back Dakota Kai. Thank you, Triple H. Yeah, that was all Triple H is doing. Another thing that I liked about this was that Logan Paul used some of the Miz's moves. He put him in the figure four, which I guess you can't say is really originally Miz's, but he used it. And of course, Tommaso Ciampa got involved in this. He cheap shot at Logan, and then the second time he tried to get involved, he got rejected, and he's sent to the back. But he didn't go to the back. He took a chair and he sat in the chair watching this. And then AJ Styles came out from the crowd and attacked Tommaso Ciampa. And so the second thing that was that, like how I said, Logan Paul used the Miz's moves. He beat the Miz using his own finisher, the skull crushing finale. Would Logan bore, if I watched the match, I wouldn't care for it. So pretty impressive debut by Logan Paul. And I think that him being by himself and doing that frog splash, and I think this was WWE's way of trying to get him over as a babyface because he was getting booed. And in my opinion, Logan Paul makes a better heel than it does babyface, but this was actually pretty good. So props to them for trying to get him over as a face. That frog splash really did it, if you ask me. So, overall, decent, good start so far. Two great back-to-back matches. The third match, the United States Championship match, Bobby Lashley versus Theory. I think a lot of us, before Vince McMahon retired, I was expecting Theory to walk away as champion, but that wasn't the case. I don't want to call this a squash match, but this match I felt was the shortest match of one of the shortest matches on this card. And pretty much, Bobby Lashley made Theory tap out with the Hurt Lock, so he successfully retained his United States Championship. So wasn't the first bad thing that happened to Theory tonight. I mean, it wasn't the last. But my favorite spot in this match was when Bobby Lashley sent Theory crashing into the barricade. I thought Theory deserved that. He really did. Okay, so then we get the no DQ tag match. It's the Mysterios versus Judgment Day. And I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised by this because, I really like that when Rey Mysterio always copies Eddie. I really liked it when he did the whole thing like that, and then Balor did it too, which I thought was obviously, I know this is a tribute, but he's supposed to do it in a mocking way. Figures it would be a crap match. What was the crap match? You don't mind me asking? Of course, Rhea Ripley got involved in this match. Finn Balor told her to give him a chair, and then when they tried to do the 619, Rhea pulled him out of the ring. Now, I figured this was going to happen because this match was a no DQ Lashley versus Theory. Oh, yeah. This was a no DQ match. So I knew something was going to go down. Who makes your big return in this match? Who? Edge. Edge makes his grand return, and he hopes the Mysterios beat Judgment Day. Oh my god, I actually really, really like that. He speared Priest and Damien. He speared Damien, Priest, and Finn Balor. And then they got a 619 to Balor, and the Mysterios won. And so Edge and the Mysterios were standing tall. Good way for Edge to come back. I thought it was going to end up being Edge and Rey Mysterio versus Judgment Day. But hey, this worked out perfectly. Really, really excited. So I wonder if now we're going to have Edge and the Mysterios versus the Judgment Day. Because now the Judgment Day is outnumbered 3-2. See, glad Edge came back. Did he have a new theme or attire? He definitely had new attire. He had a short-cut hair, sunglasses. I wear my sunglasses at night. Corey Hart. And he came out kind of looking like the Brood here, but it was still a really cool comeback. I'm so excited. Cannot wait to see what they do with Edge and the Mysterios and stuff like that. So, all right, that was really cool. So far, so good. SummerSlam was doing good so far. Then we had Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin. Pat McAfee really got a whole choir to sing bum ass Corbin. He really I just thought it was so hilarious. After Corbin came to the ring, there was a whole freaking choir. Corey Hart is a good singer, like that song, but Love Never Surrender. I've never heard Never Surrender. I've only heard I wear my sunglasses at night. And oh my god, this was so hilarious. Great way to start the match with you have a whole choir singing bum ass Corbin. So then the match starts, and like Pat McAfee's really taking it to Baron Corbin. Corbin versus McAfee. Was it a bathroom break? Actually, it was not a bathroom break match. I was pretty entertained by this. Pat McAfee doing a hurricanrana from the top rope to Baron Corbin. And then if you were paying attention to commentary, Corey Graves says, I liked you. He tells Michael Cole, I liked you better when you didn't have an opinion. And Michael Cole responds, that's changed. And it's true, it has changed. Michael Cole sounds so much more different now that Vince McMahon isn't screaming in his ear. And another thing that I liked in this match was when Baron Corbin took Pat McAfee on the outside. He put him on the announce table. He put on the headset, and he was calling out to Pat McAfee's parents. And then he started attacking Michael Cole. But Michael Cole like told him to back off, that he wasn't a part of this. And the crowd starts to chant for Michael Cole. It would be a bathroom break for me. I just don't care for this feud with them. Really? Pat McAfee, impressive with that superplex from the top rope, and then he doing those swan-tony bomb bat, and he almost fell before he did the move. I was kind of worried right there. But when the ref got knocked out, I was like, oh my god, Baron Corbin's gonna do something to try to win this match. No, what ends up happening was that the ref goes down and Pat McAfee hits him with a low blow. Hits him with a low blow like how Baron Corbin did on SmackDown. And so Pat McAfee ends up winning this match. And like at the end, like when he celebrated, he shares a beer with the fan, which I thought was pretty cool. All right. So after that, we get a Drew McIntyre promo, which I don't know why we got a Drew McIntyre promo, but I guess they're trying to build towards Clash at Castle. So he's the gist of this promo is he's trying to, what sounded terrible, the McAfee Corbin match. So he basically asked Nashville how they're doing, and he botches because he says for the first time ever Lesnar and Reigns are going at it, but he tries to save it by saying in Nashville and it's the last man standing match, and it's this time it's two titles. And so he asks the little boy what his name is, and he says Colt. He says, oh, it's the first time in front of Colt, and then the crowd starts chanting for Colt. So he tries to save it, but he obviously botched that because we know it's not the first time that we have Roman versus Lesnar. Then we get the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship matches, the Usos versus the Street Profits, with special guest referee Double J Jeff Jarrett. So I have to hand it to Jeff Jarrett. He called it down the middle in this match. I mean, he pulled off Jimmy from Angelo Dawkins, but then he also told Angelo Dawkins, to watch himself. So this match was okay, but I honestly prefer their Money in the Bank match way better than this. But like I said, at least Jeff Jarrett didn't do any funny business and nobody got hit with the guitar. I was expecting someone to get hit with the guitar, but nobody did. So Montez Ford at one point argues with Jeff Jarrett and he gets hit with the double super kick and then he gets sent over the barricade. And this allows the Usos to hit the 1D to Angelo Dawkins. He says, don't need to know Usos won, move on. Well, I need to say. So yeah, so the Usos win this, and it seems like Jay kind of refused to allow Jeff Jarrett to lift his hand, but they told the story in the look of Montez Ford. He did not look happy, and I know a little while. I know when Vince was still in charge, I think it was rumored that they were planning to split the Street Profits. I really hope that they don't go with that, but you could tell Montez Ford was not happy with this, that they lost. So now I'm very curious what's going to happen with the Street Profits. And I know the Usos are probably going to move on. I think that they need to rebuild the tag team division. And I really hope that they do. Because right now the Usos don't have any credible contenders. I mean, I can't think of anybody realistically that would take the titles off of them if not the Street Profits. So very curious to see what happens with that. So then we get a Riddle segment. He says... Let me see. Montez Ford is going to go heel after hearing this. He probably is, honestly. I would not be surprised if he does. So Riddle basically comes out and he says he's not medically compared to compete tonight. And he calls out Seth Rollins. And so Seth Rollins, like, it's this funny scene where he comes out running and security and the WWE officials are behind him. And he just looks so hilarious because he's running and they're chasing after him. And Riddle and Rollins go at it. And of course, Rollins stomps Riddle. And Michael Cole starts to say that Matt Riddle has a very serious neck injury, and then Seth Rollins walks away. So, if you guys, in case you guys forgot here, I actually do have what the statement that WWE released on Wednesday. So, on Wednesday, WWE released a statement saying that Riddle suffered a brachial plexus injury, a stinger, and is medically disqualified until full strength returns and match has been postponed. But then Fightful Select reported that Riddle's injury is kayfabe and there are plans to do the match down the line. It was moved due to creative adjustments, and the working plan is to have the match take place at Clash at the Castle in September. So that makes sense. And I feel like that awkward Drew promo that we got earlier was kind of to kill time, because I'm pretty sure this match would have been at least a good 15 minutes. So they needed to kill time. So they had that promo, and that's when this came into play too. So we had the SmackDown Women's Championship match, Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey. And I have to say, like, before I get into it, like, commentary made note that there's only 3 women have pinned Ronda: Charlotte, Becky, and Liv herself. So this match was not that good. This was, in my opinion, probably the weakest match on the card. Even Becky versus Bianca was better than this. And this I just did not like this match at all. I get what they were trying to do, but like I really liked the finish. I really did, because okay, so Ronda Rousey had Liv Morgan locked in the armbar, but then Liv got up, and mind you, Ronda still had the armbar locked in, so Ronda's shoulders were down. So the ref counts 1, 2, 3, but what he doesn't see, and as he's counting 1, 2, 3, Liv Morgan is tapping. She's tapping, but the ref doesn't see that. So he counts 1, 2, 3. So Liv Morgan technically won, even though she tapped out. So this, of course, upsets Ronda. And she puts her in the armbar, and she put the poor ref in the armbar too. And so, like, I get what they were trying to do. They're trying to turn Ronda heel, and this should have been from the beginning, honestly. But this match didn't just make Liv look good, if you ask me, and I really didn't like it. This was my least favorite match on the card. I get it, though. I get it. She needed to turn heel. Then, for some odd reason, they actually, no, not odd, I guess, because Kane is the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee. He comes out and announces an attendance of 48,449 fans, and does this whole little shtick, you know? Then in the main event, we have the undisputed WWE Universal Championship match. It's Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar in the last man standing match. Kane knew this would suck. Ronda turned heel. Yeah. So, of course, Roman comes on, does his usual shtick, Nashville, acknowledge me. And this match was actually pretty entertaining. I will say that, if you do ask me, I liked it way better than their WrestleMania match. So the first, you guys know, the attendance number is a joke. Of course it is. Mike Rome, who is a WWE announcer, starts to introduce Brock Lesnar. But Brock Lesnar tells him to shut up and introduce himself, and then he jumps off the tractor that he rode into the ring with, and attacks Roman. So, like I said, this match I feel kind of started off slow because they weren't doing much at the beginning, but then it really picked up. Like, Lesnar started throwing Reigns around. There was a suplex to Reigns off the steel steps, which I thought was a pretty cool spot. I'm starting to notice that they're mentioning like official names. They mention the cameraman name. They start mentioning the referees' names. Lesnar threw Reigns into the steel and then onto the poor cameraman. There was this one spot where I was actually kind of worried for Lesnar. Like, he jumped onto the barricade, but like he didn't get enough of a good grip, so like he almost fell. So I was kind of worried about that, but luckily he didn't fall. And he picked up a piece of a table and he whacked Roman with it. So my favorite spot in this match was when, okay, again, there was a tractor. Lesnar came down with the tractor. He got in the tractor. He actually uses the tractor twice. The first part I didn't like, so I'm going to talk about both. So the first spot, he dumped Rain into the front loader of the tractor and then rolled Rain into the ring. But I didn't like that. I didn't really like that because it was like, okay, big deal. The second spot that he did, I actually liked. So he took the tractor and he pushed the ring and then he lifted it up. He lifted up the ring Roman Reigns just rolled out of there. He just rolled out of the ring, which I thought was so hilarious. Because he lifts up the ring and you just see him roll. Oh my god, that was funny. That I thought that was really funny. I saw, let me see, Michael 10159 says, I saw Lesnar coming on the tractor and lifting the ring, and I was like, what the F? Never seen that before, but hey, at least they didn't go with the ring collapse. Yeah, at least they didn't go with the ring collapse, and I'm really happy they didn't go that route, honestly, because we've seen that before, and we've actually never seen this, so pretty impressed that they went with the spot. Heyman, Lesnar puts Heyman through the table with an F5. And then, of course, Austin Theory comes out, tries to cash it. He hits Roman with the briefcase, but Lesnar hits him with an F5. And then the Usos also try to come out to take out Lesnar. But the thing that I find hilarious is that at one point, Roman takes a briefcase. And remember, Theory got hit with the F5, so he's out cold. He hits poor Theory, who's still knocked out cold, with the briefcase, and then hits Lesnar with it. So the finish to this was crazy. Okay, so Lesnar didn't stay down despite getting hit with the briefcase, a title, and a spear. So he gets up every time. And it makes you think, what's it going to take to get Lesnar not to stand up to a count of 10? So afterwards, Roman hits Lesnar with the other title. And they pile stuff on top of Lesnar. They pile the announce table, chairs, steel steps. And that is what does it. That is what gets Lesnar to not make it to count of 10. And Roman just stands above it. Watch they try to make lifting the ring repetitive as well, just like the ring collapse. I don't think so. I don't think they are. I hope not. So overall, I'd have to give this pay-per-view an 8 out of 10. I was entertained top to bottom, but there were a couple things I disliked. The opening match between Bianca and Becky, good match, but I prefer the WrestleMania match. Logan Paul, pretty impressive, so I really like that. United States Championship match, Lashley versus Theory. I was expecting Lashley to win. I'm not surprised Theory lost by tapping. The no DQ match, great return for Edge. I really liked Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Shirai making their debuts. But that Drew McIntyre promo I felt was totally unnecessary. Riddle versus Rollins, I get it why they were there. They're building towards Clash of the Castle. Liv Morgan versus Ronda, arguably the weakest match on the card. My least favorite match on the card. The Last Man Standing match was actually pretty fun. I really liked it a lot better than the WrestleMania match. Lesnar using that tractor to lift the ring was a pretty cool spot. Theory botched that being a fight. Oh yeah. But overall, good pay-per-view. I've noticed here things in there. This was clearly the first WWE pay-per-view without Vince McMahon. And overall, pretty enjoyable. Again, minor things I disliked, so I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. But I'm really looking forward to see what the fallout from SummerSlam. But I wasn't bored half to death, so that's good. That's really, really good. But another thing, I did see some small changes, and I hope we continue to see change because that is what we need. With Triple H in charge, I think we're going to be okay. And I think this pay-per-view show proved it. But with that being said, you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for your continuous support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow after Ric Flair's last match. But if I don't, I definitely will see you guys on Monday after Monday Night Raw. Have a great night. Bye.